5 decades ago, Pakistan's Zulfikar Ali Bhutto declared that the country would tear off a piece of India to avenge the loss of East Pakistan. No prizes for guessing what he was talking about. Hello and welcome. My name is Molly Gambhir. And in this episode of Gravitas Plus, we will talk about the unholy nexus between the Khalistan movement and Pakistan's spy agency ISI. That's right, the same agency notorious for fomenting tensions against India and spreading anti-India propaganda. The Khalistan movement surfaced in the tumultuous 1970s and early 1980s with the aim of having an independent Sikh state carved out of India. The Khalistan movement is now history in India, but in some Western countries, there are efforts to keep this long-dead movement alive. There, Khalistani terrorists roam freely with impunity, orchestrating their anti-India activities brazenly. But you know what lies beneath the surface? The role of Pakistan's ISI in these anti-India activities. You see, the undeniable truth is the so-called Khalistan movement carries a Pakistani intelligence footprint. It is evident in their strategy, their tactics, and the operational intricacies of their terror activities. Much like their Pakistani spy agency counterparts, Khalistani groups operate under various aliases. And the thing is, you will never see the Khalistani groups raise the issue of ill treatment, forced conversions, abductions, and cultural genocide of Sikhs in Pakistan and Afghanistan by Islamic extremists. These are issues that they conveniently choose to overlook. Pakistan's intelligence agency assists these pro-Khalistan groups financially and organizationally. The Indian government, as well as several independent scholars, believe that terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, as well as the Khalistan movement, are all parts of Pakistan's plan for bleeding India with 1,000 cuts, quote unquote. Despite concrete evidence, the West has for long turned a blind eye to India's persistent warnings about the Khalistan movement, a dangerous separatist ideology aiming to carve out an independent Sikh homeland within India. The recent India-Canada diplomatic row has underscored this disconnect. Naturally, India is outraged after the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made bold allegations, raising serious allegations against India over the killing of the Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Nijjar. In the immediate aftermath, India rejected the allegations as absurd and motivated. Hardeep Nijjar operated a terror ecosystem on Canadian soil, as revealed by Indian intelligence reports, which suggest he funded terrorism in India and organized arms training camps within Canada. Nijjar's close ties with other terrorists based in Pakistan are a matter of record. In the year 2012, he visited Pakistan and established connections with Jakhtar Singh Tara, the chief of Babbar Khalsa International, another banned terrorist group. Tara supplied him with arms and trained him in assembling IEDs in 2012 and 2013. All these details are meticulously documented by Indian investigative agencies. And now, India has intensified its long-standing grievance that Canada harbors dangerous anti-India extremists with ties to Pakistan's ISI, an accusation that Canada has chosen to ignore so far. Meanwhile, the reaction from the United States has been somewhat vague and non-committal. India's stance on terrorism often aligns with the views of Washington and other Western capitals. In fact, prior to the rise of the China challenge as the primary driver of US-India cooperation, counter-terrorism was the central focus of their partnership. This focus sharpened after the November 2008 attacks in Mumbai, which claimed 166 lives, including 6 Americans. And following these attacks, Washington boosted its covert presence in Pakistan. And so, while Washington and New Delhi generally see eye to eye on the threats posed by groups like the LET, Al-Qaeda, Jaish-e-Mohammed, and the Islamic State, the US and other Western officials have refrained from categorically condemning violent Sikh separatism. They are yet to endorse New Delhi's classification of Hardeep Nijjar as a terrorist or formally designate any Khalistan groups as terrorist organizations, although they did designate another South Asian separatist outfit, the Balochistan Liberation Army in Pakistan, in 2019. So why hasn't India's warning about the Khalistan threat galvanized the West? Simply put, the Khalistan movement has not posed a direct threat to the West. But that, you see, is only the perception. Bear in mind, in 1985, Sikh terrorists blew up an Air India jet departing from Montreal, resulting in the loss of all on board, the majority of whom were Canadians. The fact of the matter is, Pakistan stands as a critical Chinese ally, and it holds a vested interest in undermining the India-West collaboration. The notion of Khalistan is perpetuated by a tiny radical faction and backed by Pakistan. A veteran Canadian journalist, Terry Milewski, has aptly captured this reality in his report titled Khalistan, a Project of Pakistan. He noted that Pakistan gives them something, gives the Khalistanis an illusion that their dream might become a reality.